What becomes possible for you in your life when you begin to look at fear differently, when you begin to transform your relationship to it? Now, the reason I bring this to you today is because I was listening to a wonderful audiobook, which is actually for children, but it's a Christmas book, so I love all things Christmas, so why not, right? And it's a book called A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. Just such a wonderful story, but there was this one line that really got me yesterday, because not only do I feel that it's not true, but also it's aimed at children, and it made me think, well, what kind of relationship to fear are we instilling in children by having that kind of guidance, that kind of information there? And the line was essentially something along the lines of, we cannot let fear be our guide. Now, just think about that for a moment. We cannot let fear be our guide. Now, whilst there may be an element of truth in that, is it really true? Fear is looking out for us. Sometimes it gets things right, sometimes it gets things wrong. Is it really true for us to not let it be our guide through life? It's this kind of information that I think keeps us making, as I said in yesterday's episode, keeps us making fear the enemy, something we have to quash and kill and get rid of, something that's terrible, when in actual fact it serves great purpose in our lives. And when harnessed well, it can be a powerful tool. So instead of thinking of getting rid of fear being our guide in life, what happens if we actually let it be our guide? Because just focus on that word for a moment. Guide. Fear as our guide. It's not saying fear is going to control and run the show and drag you around by the arm and make you do things. What happens if fear is our guide? A bit like Elizabeth Gilbert talks about in her book Big Magic, right? Well, if fear is your guide, the guide in your passenger seat of your car, say, who's in control? Ultimately, who makes the last decision in that situation? You or fear? It's you, right? Fear as your guide, like any navigator tells you, go left here, go right, continue over the roundabout, speed up, slow down, if we're thinking about a driving instructor, right? Put on the brakes. But ultimately, you're the one in control. You're the one that can say, yeah, we might need to go left there, but I feel like going right. Stop telling me to slow down, I want to speed up. Or actually, I want to slow down. We're the ones that make that decision. And fear at times may give great instruction, may give great guidance. Watch out for that pothole. Slow down, there's a pedestrian crossing the road. Stop or pull over, there's a car hurtling towards us. That is good information by our guide fear. But then in other places, may not be such great information. Fear may really want you to go left because that is your usual journey home, and fear likes that journey home instead of the unknown journey, which is right, goes right. Well, then in that moment you can say, fear, I think we need to do something differently here. I'm going to take a right. And you try something new because you know it's important for you. Ultimately, the decision rests with you. So what happens? What becomes possible for you when fear acts as a guide? Not the controlling force, but the guide. What becomes possible for you in your life? Now, if this resonates with you and you would like to begin to work with fear, use it to help you become more than you've ever imagined, create more than you've ever imagined in your life, then I would love to invite you to join me for the Fearless Life group coaching program, which begins next February. And this is the kind of work that we do. We use fear. We don't try to kick it to the curb. We don't try to eradicate it. We don't make it the enemy. We work with it so that you have this opportunity to become so much more powerful. So I'd love to invite you along for that journey. If this has piqued your interest, then drop a comment below or send me a direct message and we can have a conversation, an exploratory conversation as to whether Fearless Life, the group coaching program, could be of massive benefit to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Bye.